This is going to be cringe.
It's too late to apologize. Oh.
They're rough. They're so difficult to watch. I mean, it depends on how it's done, I guess, and what they're apologizing for. There's some things it's just like, just get off of the internet.
Ugh. Sorry. The apologies on YouTube bore me, so I yawn.
Oh, okay.
To me, it's one of those situations where I can't take apology videos seriously because it's become the thing to do. It's become damage control. When an apology is damage control, it's not an apology.
Right, exactly.
You're trying to save your own ass. And it really sucks because I think that that's part of growing as a person. And I think that that's something that really needs to be learned. And it could improve people.
Yeah,
in a way, you got to have humility. You've got to have compassion. You've got to take a shot yourself. Like, you're the one who needs to be hurting this time. It's usually you've hurt somebody or you've done something. Like, if you need to apologize, it's because you wronged somebody, you've done something. So your apology is kind of like you having to step yourself down.
It depends, okay? So it depends on what you're apologizing for, because there's two videos. I don't know why, but there's two videos just like completely on the opposite sides of the spectrum of people apologizing on YouTube. Okay, and so the first one is, of course, Jenna Marbles. She did an apology video one time.
Oh, God.
And, okay, do you know what she apologized for?
What?
Because she's such a pure person that she went out and she went to this fish store and got these people who worked at the fish store who were pretty much like experts who, they work there, they tell you what to buy and everything. And she bought the wrong fish tank. She bought apparently like a circle fish tank is not good for the fish and it stresses them out, and she didn't know that, and she felt really, really bad because everybody in the comments was like, you're like torturing these fish, and she was like, I didn't mean to, I'm just taking them back, we're not doing this, but she made it like a really big deal because she really did care. And then the second video that pops out in my mind is a video that we recently saw of this dude apologizing for making art of people who didn't say that was okay.
Oh, AI art. Mm-hmm.
And then and then it popped up like on his tab, and so everybody saw, and then they were like, "Yo, we saw what you're doing." And then he got on there and was like, "Woohoo! I made that of my friends on my," and then had his, I assume, partner, girlfriend, yeah. I don't know, just like beside of him, just like, no.
Look,
no.
It's one thing to.
It was so cringe that it just hurts my heart for the woman in the video.
It's one thing to apologize and recognize that you've done wrong, and it's another thing to apologize for the sake of saving yourself.
Yes.
And I just feel like no matter what your intent is now, it will always be seen as you trying to save yourself. No matter what.
That kind of sucks for people wwho really care.
Yeah, I think it does suck, but it just became a trend for everybody to try to clean up their mess by doing this. So it's like, I don't know. It just... people make mistakes. If they haven't gone out here and actually, there's a difference if you've like actually hurt somebody.
Or people like that EDP.
Right. He
and
doesn't even need to do an apology video.
Right.
What he needs to do is disappear.
Right.
Like, that's all you need to do. There's certain times where you just need to go away. And your apologizing needs to be between you, God, the person.
Well, I don't even know that he apologized.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think he feels like he did anything wrong.
Right. So, I mean, it's just, there's a whole array of, like, what you're apologizing for first. Like, what did you do?
Yeah.
And then, why are you apologizing? But anyway,
Right.
I think that we're going to see just trash because it says
probably.
Who has the worst.
Yes. This is Sunny V2. Who has the worst apology in YouTube history? So, I am betting that one of the Paul brothers will be on here, probably Logan Paul.
Oh, God, don't get me started.
Let's check it out.
Okay.
rank YouTube's 10 worst apology videos from bad to downright terrible. So let's begin by looking at RiceGum, whose trash apology went by the name of "This Dude Calls Me Out for Mystery Unboxing." RiceGum's apology referred to a different video from 3 days prior, titled "How I Got AirPods for $4, in which he'd promote a mystery box gambling site, while making it sound as though the website was an easy way to make money. Because RiceGum had a young audience, he'd be called out by H3H3 Productions and PewDiePie for promoting gambling to children, with RiceGum's response coming in the days following these call-out videos. His apology began on terrible footing, as instead of admitting any kind of wrongdoing, he'd state that he was justified in doing the video as they paid him more than $100,000, before going on to state that he wasn't the first YouTuber to promote the website. RiceGum then concluded the video by giving out multiple Amazon gift card codes.
There's nothing I can really do but say sorry and give you these Amazon gift cards, so I'm sorry.
Only each code had already expired by the time the video went live. Beginning your apology by bragging about money before going on to offer your audience some old expired gift cards definitely makes for a pretty poor apology. However, the video was short and sweet. It felt as though it was consistent with RiceGum's personality, and the argument about other YouTubers promoting the site before him was actually a pretty reasonable point. RiceGum was also smart enough to keep his cool throughout the whole video, which Shane Dawson wasn't able to do, whose incredibly volatile state led to YouTube's 9th worst apology video. Taking
YouTube
accountability began with Shane stating that emotionally chucking on a webcam and apologizing was stupid and childish.
And that is stupid. That is something that a child does, not something that a 31-year-old man does. That's not good.
Although this is exactly what he'd do over the following 20 minutes. Shane was apologizing for the jokes he'd made during his 10-year YouTube career, and although he'd state that he was simply laying out his feelings, the whole video used manipulative language and felt as though it was coming from a point of total desperation.
I'm so sorry. I am so sorry to anybody that saw that. It's something that I shouldn't even be able to get out of. I should lose everything for that.
Shane used all the classic buzz phrases such as "I will educate myself" and "I will do better" and "I don't know who that person is anymore," and therefore the whole video just feels like a pathetic template to get hate off his back, as opposed to a personalized video with his own terminology to apply to his specific situation. The hypocrisy continued into the end of the video when Shane stated that being defensive was a poor way to make changes.
I'm gonna go on the defensive, and that's not a good way to live, and it's not a good way to grow.
Yet he seemed completely unaware that his entire video was defensive in response to the drama that he had found himself in. However, at least Shane didn't insinuate that his audience was stupid, as when the Fine Brothers uploaded their awful apology that accidentally insult the entirety of YouTube. The Fine Brothers had pioneered the reaction genre on YouTube with their Kids React series, and would post a video in early 2016 simply titled React World, in which it sounded like the Fine Brothers were trying to copyright any kind of YouTube reaction video. As a result of their poorly crafted concept, they'd receive hate from every corner of the internet, prompting what we're now calling the 8th worst apology in YouTube history. The apology began with the Fine Brothers admitting that their video was worded poorly and that they never planned on trying to copyright YouTube's reaction genre.
First and foremost, we're sorry for confusing people by using terminology like our React format. We were never trying to say that every video where someone reacts to something else is something we would try to control.
However, despite stating this, the two would then go on to explain that they had taken down other reaction content in the past, while continuing to imply that the audience was stupid for being unable to comprehend the concept laid out in their initial React World video.
Just because we have or might get trademarks doesn't mean we're going to run around and start taking down videos.
"We're sorry that you're too stupid to understand how this works" is basically the sum of this apology in one sentence. So yeah, classic arrogant non-apology. At the end of the day, the Fine Brothers got off lightly, as their initial mistake wasn't all that big of a deal. However, the same couldn't be said for Travis Scott, who posted the 7th worst apology after 10 people died at his Astro World concert. It happened in November 2021, and despite everybody in the crowd chanting to stop the show, Travis Scott continued, which ultimately resulted in the 10 fatalities alongside 500 other injuries. As the news of the tragedy began to go viral, Travis was planning his apology and would take to Instagram with somewhat of an unconventional approach. He was seemingly trying to avoid having his face clickbaited by the media, and therefore recorded a short video in black and white under bad lighting from a bad angle, with his eyes closed and his hand covering his face for the majority of the video. This was certainly a 200 IQ play, however it also also made for an extremely terrible, unpleasant viewing experience and resulted in comments such as, Travis Scott is clearly much more focused on his headache than his apology, as well as he gave his forehead more respect than the people who died of a horrible, painful death as a direct consequence of his inaction. The words he used in the video weren't much better either, because as highlighted by this comment, his apology is basically, damn, that's crazy.
I just want to send out prayers to the ones that was lost last night. I mean, I'm honestly just devastated. I could never imagine anything like this just happening.
The funniest part is that in his apology, Travis is talking like he wasn't there. It's like the dude just woke up and was like, oh man, people died at Travis Scott's concert. The apology was certainly bizarre. However, it wasn't nearly as strange as the 6th worst apology by Simply Kenna, who became YouTube's first creator to apologize in the form of a poem. The apology came in response to being called out for plagiarism, and seemingly as an overcompensation for trying to be original, Simply Kenna wrote a 3.5-minute poem using nothing but incredibly deep metaphor.
Am I a human? Am I a monster? Or am I something in between?
Now, to Kenna's credit, the poem was pretty well written. However, using it to apologize felt like an unbelievably strange move. The whole point of an apology is to be sincere. To write a poem, rehearse it, those fake facial expressions and background music, babe, that's not sincere. An apology in poetry is me in my rawest form, even though I'm not raw at all, because I rehearse this instead of just talking to you guys naturally. That poem is so corny. Still trying to be aesthetic in an apology video. The video was so bad that Kenna then posted another apology video to say sorry for the first one, and as summarized by this comment, if you have to make an apology video for an apology video, it might be time to take a break from YouTube. However, at least Simply Kenna had the chance to take a break voluntarily, as when T Martin posted his awful apology, the audience stopped watching completely. In the lead up to what we're calling the 5th worst apology in YouTube history, T Martin promoted a website called CSGO Lotto, claiming that he found the site at random and was able to use it to win expensive CSGO items. Although it wouldn't be long before T Martin was exposed as being one of the owners of the website, prompting the now infamous I'm sorry video. The apology began on fake manipulative footing as T Martin sat there talking to his dog about how difficult the video was going to be.
Cooper, I have no idea how I'm gonna record this video, dude.
However, it's hard to tell exactly how the video was supposed to be difficult, as T Martin would do nothing besides sit there and spend 2 minutes telling the audience how dumb they were.
My connection to CSGO Lotto has been a matter of public record since the company was first organized in December of 2015. This is and always has been a clearly stated policy.
He barely even apologized. He's putting the blame on the people for not understanding. WTF. He basically called his fans stupid. I love how he didn't even apologize and basically just said it's our fault. It didn't help that T Martin decided to film the apology in the entryway to his mansion with his expensive truck sitting just outside the window, but at least he was smart enough to flaunt his wealth subtly, as the Liver King's terrible apology began with him blatantly bragging about how much money he had. Prior to the Liver King confession, he'd consistently reiterated that his physique was natural, although when More Plates More Dates uploaded a video showing that this wasn't true, the Liver King felt the pressure to apologize. The Liver King would begin his apology by bragging about being rich.
Before social media, I was rich and anonymous, and after social media, I'm still rich, but no longer anonymous.
Before going on to try and convince the audience that he never planned on becoming famous.
And I never expected this kind of exposure in the public eye.
Despite having grown the brand using his face, name, and image as the most recognizable feature. The Liver King then goes on to claim that his persona was nothing more than an experiment to help struggling teenagers.
Liver King, the public figure, was an experiment to spread the message. Our people are hurting at record rates with depression, autoimmune, anxiety, infertility, low ambition in life. Our young men are hurting the most, feeling lost, weak, and submissive.
Which felt like a cliche cop-out to shift the blame from what he was being accused of. The beginning of the apology was bad, the magnitude of the initial lie was bad, and the need for the apology was almost non-existent in the first place. However, because the Liver King was able to finish the video with a couple of reasonable points, he's avoided being any higher on this list. Besides, it's almost impossible to have an apology worse than the one posted by Social Repose. The video had been uploaded after his ex-girlfriend publicly accused him of cheating, wrong, so naturally Social Repose wanted to share his side of the story, doing so in a video titled I'm an Idiot. The apology began with the most unemotional attempt at saying sorry.
I understand what I did. I understand that it's pretty wrong, heinous, and like I said, I messed up. I do deeply regret it.
Before he'd go on to explain that he had cheated in his previous relationship.
I did cheat on her, just like I did my ex-girlfriend.
And it was therefore the girlfriend's fault for not knowing that he was going to cheat again.
And she kind of took me on with the thought that she could fix me, and that everyone did warn her, and I couldn't stay faithful, and here we are.
Throughout the video, Social Repose seems so proud of how broken he is as a person.
Clearly, I have a lot of deep-seated issues. I have a lot of problems.
Which was justified in his own head, as he apparently had this incredible YouTube channel.
I'm so deeply entrenched in Social Repose just as an entity that it comes first. It comes before all my love and relationships and even family to an extent. This is my life. I've chosen it.
However, at least Social Repose made some attempt at saying sorry, as Sienna May's apology was so bad that people began to question if she was even saying sorry at all. Sienna May was one of TikTok's fastest growing creators until another TikToker accused her of assault, after which she'd take a break from the internet and return with what we're calling the second worst apology in YouTube history. It began with the explanation that taking a month off social media was the most difficult month of Sienna's life, before she'd gone to state that her purpose in life was to post TikTok dances and untouched photos of herself. Throughout the video, Sienna implied that her youth excused her from any wrongdoing, although the worst part was that she never even apologized, and rather spent more than half of the video playing what she called a relatable Sam Smith song, while doing a choreographed dance with the goal of inspiring her audience. The stupidity of the apology is best summarized by this comment reading, "The fact that she and her team watched this and said, yeah, this is a good idea is hilarious to me. All of them together make one brain cell." Although Sienna's one brain cell was still significantly more than the amount that Laura Lee had, when she posted almost objectively the worst apology in YouTube history. Laura Lee posted the apology in response to some old tweets, although she would have been significantly better off remaining silent, as there was nothing within this video that wasn't a complete travesty. She'd spend the first 30 seconds talking about nothing besides how difficult the video was going to be.
In this video, it's been so hard, so much positive, hard, it's probably the hardest things I've ever done.
Before going on to completely lose it on camera, while implementing all the classic phrases such as "I'm so sorry to disappoint you all, and I know that I'm better than that." Laura Lee cried and apologized, then cried and apologized some more, although in the process, the audience noticed that there were no tears coming out of her eyes. Is this an audition? I see no tears. Literally no tears coming from her eyes, yet she keeps wiping away. I think she forgot to buy the eye drops. After everybody came to realize that Laura Lee wasn't even crying, she'd take a month off YouTube to reflect, after which she'd return with an apology video for her initial apology, where she'd conclude the drama with more NPC YouTube apology dialogue.
I have changed so much as a human being. I have grown so much through the situation. I have grown and I have learned so much.
I'm just gonna say that, like,
I'm just gonna say it.
these people are detached from reality. A lot of them. Like, that's why it's so hard. It's hard to apologize when you don't feel like you need to.
Right.
You're supposed to.
Like you only got caught. Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't really feel bad about what you've done. Or that you've even done anything. It's just like par for the course now. Or my favorite, I got hacked. That's the funniest ones. Those are the funniest
That just
ones.
reminded me of a very specific situation. If you can think about it. We know someone who accidentally posted some nudes online. And that was their response. Come on!
I can't remember.
On their story on Facebook. I told you about it. Come on. Dude.
I don't remember. I did go to high school with, listen, I did go to high school with a girl.
Yeah.
Whose daughter got a hold of her phone and posted her spicy content. And she, like, I was told about it. I never saw it, but was really quick to deal with it because her parents called her.
Okay.
Oh, I know what you're saying. But I didn't know that was the excuse
Yeah.
that he gave, was that he got hacked. Really. But was really just, we know the real story, but that was the public story.
Yes!
Are you going to tell?
No.
This? Okay.
I would, but they would be mortified, just as I was mortified when I just logged on to just scroll.
So there is an older man that we both know and are friends with, who was thought that he was sending some spicy pictures to his girlfriend. Okay, turns out posted these spicy pictures to his Facebook story, and Nikki sees it. Okay, and is like, "Hey, dude, I know you're old and don't use this technology often."
I started off the conversation with, "Did your girlfriend send you something today?" And they were like, "Well, it just so happens that they did. Why? How do you know?" And I'm like, "Did you send something back?" And they were like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Yeah. And then it proceeded to take an hour to figure out how to delete it.
Yeah, because like I said, not of our generation, older than even us, and had tried to, send some spicy content to their partner.
Was it Nino? It was definitely Nino.
Yeah. That's funny. But yeah, these apology videos are par for the course. It's like something that you're supposed to do, and people expect it from you, but you're going to get publicly tarred and feathered for doing it. And for me, like, if I will tell y'all all the time that I'm a damaged person. I fuck up all the time.
Same.
I do things that aren't right, that I know aren't right. Okay, that's another thing that I hate when people do, when they're like, well, I didn't know, and now I'm a better person, and now, no. A lot of times, when you do wrong, you're doing wrong, and you just decide to do wrong anyway, and that is part of the human condition.
Yeah.
We've all done shit that we know is wrong, and we've done it anyway, whether it's just because that's what you wanted to do at the time, or it was a rash reaction when you were pissed or upset or whatever, but that doesn't remove the fact that you knew it was wrong.
Yeah.
So I am so over this, well, I've learned. It's like, no.
I've just decided to fucking try and be a better person.
Right. It is never okay to be mean, to be deceptive, to be cruel, to be self-interested and greedy and all these things. So you're doing wrong. There's lots of things that aren't against the law at all. You won't go to jail over it. It's still
not,
wrong.
like, morally.
It's still wrong.
I think that my favorite was, fuck you guys. You just fucking stupid. It's not my problem.
Well, the Travis Scott. Oh, man,
that's some shit, isn't it?
Because look, okay.
That's such a fucked up situation.
When you're on stage, the stage lights can blind you, and you can't see. He was standing out in the crowd on
a platform,
like out in the crowd.
I think it was just a really shitty decision.
From that point of view, you can see he was pointing things out.
Yeah, I haven't watched it because I just couldn't.
It was something that I had to talk about in school, because I was still in music business when that happened. No, I wasn't. No, that's not true. I can't remember where I had to discuss this, but we had to talk about. I think it was in one of the UCW meetings. We were talking about having insurance for our shows and things like that, because it had just happened. But
yeah, because shit can break out.
You have to be. Well, we've had insurance claims 3 times already on our insurance because we had 2 elderly people fall out at one of our shows, and thank God we had that insurance because they had to notify our insurance that they had a medical emergency at our show. But it's a thing that as a performer, when you see somebody get hurt, shows it shut down.
That's why
until everything's fixed.
Yeah. I really when I first started going to bars where they were playing punk music and stuff, I was worried that I would get hurt, right? As being a girl, and you definitely can get hurt if you're in the middle. in the pit.
If you're anybody, if you're Arnold Schwarzenegger, could have
Sure.
somebody dropped on his head, he's
Absolutely.
going to be in bad shape.
Yeah, I mean, people kicked me in the head when we were at some concerts and stuff.
The bass player in my band was furious about it.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, he was really angry.
But I mean, just even at very small shows, you know, everybody tries to protect each other, and like if you fall, they fucking pick you up, and like you just try to look out for each other. And so I don't know as a performer, but I would imagine that I would be like, hold the fucking phone. I see somebody's hurt.
Metal and punk crowds are a different breed. It's a different type of community, and there's a lot more accountability for taking care of each other at those shows.
Yeah.
As far as I've seen, from my own personal experience of about,
except for fucking Pennywise, get out of the fucking way.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Again, that's everybody knows what's happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, crazy. These apology videos all suck. The Liver King one was a joke.
Young boys are depressed, and I just want to make them feel worse about themselves because look how fucking jacked I am, and you can do it too.
It's all about your motivation, and you're not trying hard enough. All the while, I'm taking all these fucking supplements that are illegal.
You just need like 15 grand.
I'm spending $15,000 a month on this, and
you can do it too.
Yeah, that shit was terrible. But anyway, Sunny V2, great list. I think you did a good job compiling this. I would have probably put Blasphemous HD on this as well, but that's his perspective. And Logan Paul.
I mean, that's like to me, that's the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah,
that's the worst one
Bill
I've ever
Clinton
seen.
could have been on here. There's several, but go subscribe to Sunny V2 if you like content like this, because he has a whole bunch of it. If you enjoyed our reaction, then you can give us a like, subscribe to the channel. You can give us some recommendations if you want to.
Yeah, you can do that down in the comments, on our Discord, on our Patreon, or on our Twitch, where we're live every Friday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Thank you guys for checking this one out. We'll see you in the next one.